To break it all down, Assemblyman and Fox 5 political analyst Nathan Fletcher is joining us live in the newsroom tonight. Thank you for being with us once again.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Well, clearly this was a very different president that stepped forward tonight in this debate, but was there a clear winner?
Well, I mean, it was a feisty debate, and when they weren't interrupting each other or talking over the moderator, I thought they actually did a good job of having a substantive debate and bringing out the differences. I think most folks would give the night to President Obama for a strong performance. Even conservative pundit George Will said President Barack Obama was the clear winner. Probably not as decisive a win as Governor Romney had in the first debate, but certainly given the expectations, he put in a strong performance, and I think by all accounts won tonight.
We were just talking about how small that pie is of undecided voters are going after, or blocks of voters. And something that I noticed tonight is that they seem to be targeting their message to a very specific group, namely people like me, women. Yep. Let's take a look at one instance of this as we roll a clip.
We haven't heard from the governor any specifics beyond Big Bird and eliminating funding for Planned Parenthood in terms of how he pays for that.
Now, you might not think that Big Bird and Planned Parenthood is taking direct aim at women, but this was something that caught your eye. Why is that?
Well, it did. You know, in the run-up to the first debate, President Obama had a huge advantage in what we call the gender gap. He was doing significantly better with women voters than with men, and we've seen that lead shrink over the course of the last couple of weeks, where Governor Romney's been gaining against women, and as a result, we saw almost a half a dozen different references by the president to funding for Planned Parenthood, something that pulls very strongly with women. We saw an entire question sequence on the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act, and I think that the president was clearly targeting a substantial amount of his effort tonight, talking to women voters in Ohio, in Florida, in Virginia, trying to widen that gap and give them an advantage heading into Election Day.
Trying to get those women back on his side.
Back to his side, absolutely.
Well, the highlight was undoubtedly these exchanges over Libya that most of us knew were coming. It certainly was all over Twitter tonight, with Republicans pushing for that question to come out, thinking that it was going to be this gotcha moment, but it kind of appeared like it didn't go their way. So let's hear first from the president, who has been criticized recently for his handling of what happened, 4 U.S. deaths in Benghazi.
And the suggestion that anybody in my team, whether Secretary of State, our UN ambassador, anybody on my team would play politics or mislead when we've lost 4 of our own, Governor, is offensive. That's not what we do. That's not what I do as president. That's not what I do as commander-in-chief.
Your reaction to that moment?
Well, it was very strong. I mean, he played the part of the president. And, you know, there used to be a saying that politics stopped at the water's edge, and I think that the president always has some advantage when he can point. We care about everyone we've lost. You know, we saw in the earlier clip before the debate where President George W. Bush really dressed down Senator John Kerry on a similar topic, and the president came ready to go on this topic and this issue, and I thought it was very strong.
And let's take a look at the moment where a lot will be said about Romney's argument going sideways when Candy Crowley corrected him.
You said in the Rose Garden, the day after the attack, it was an act of terror. It was not a spontaneous demonstration. Is that what you're saying?
Please proceed, Governor.
I want to make sure we get that for the record, because it took the president 14 days before he called the attack in Benghazi an act of terror.
Get the transcript.
He did, in fact, sir. So let me call it an act of terror.
Can you say that a little louder, Candy?
He did call it an act of terror.
Nathan, will this hurt Romney?
Well, it doesn't help. You know, I think this will be the memorable moment from the debate. You always take a risk when you call someone out on a factual thing of what they said or they didn't say, and then to have the moderator fact check you right there in front of however many people were viewing certainly was not a good moment in the debate for Governor Romney. And it's really important to keep in mind we're heading into the last debate, which is entirely on foreign policy. And so I think to have a foreign policy stumble heading into that debate is certainly not something the Romney team was preparing for.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Our gratitude to Nathan Fletcher tonight, Fox 5 political analyst as well as Assemblyman. We appreciate your time.